Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Hits Play. I am one of the hosts, Isaac Jimenez. This is James Harding. In your other ear, James, what's going on, man?
I am the other host. That's about it.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. It's been a minute since we talked, man. I know these episodes come out every week, but the way we structure our recording sessions, it's been almost 2 weeks, man.
Not the same
You
day
doing
every
good?
week. Yeah.
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 Life good?
No, I'm doing good.
Ready for the big
Had
move?
my last day at work. Yeah, I had my last day on Friday the 13th of all days.
Nice. Dun 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 dun.
Which for me it was not an unlucky day. For the store, it might have been an unlucky day for them.
What is Office Max gonna do without you?
They're gonna have bugs running around everywhere because I caught every bug that came into that store.
Nice. Yeah, has it been weird? Have you been like, I don't know, a little somber ending your job? Because it's been a little somber for me. I'm a day away from ending my last day. Like a day tomorrow's my last day, so it's been weird saying bye to people.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not the kind of person who does goodbyes and even beginnings. So
Fair.
the only somber part was just being like, the people who I enjoyed working with being like, oh, I'm gonna miss working with somebody who,
Yeah.
is actually funny.
Yeah, that's fair.
Stuff like that. But I mean, I'm still working at the same company. I'm just getting a transfer. Everyone was always like, "You're leaving us," and I'm like, "Well, I'm not leaving the company. I'm just leaving you guys."
Another
Yeah.
Office Max is
So,
gonna get
geez.
my it's gonna get my
Yeah.
services.
Pretty much.
That's funny.
Anyway,
That's funny.
anyway, this isn't about us. This is
Yeah, I
about
don't know.
Suicide
What
Squad.
are we doing? Yeah, Suicide Squad. We are. Well, there's
Well,
really been two big
correction.
releases.
It's the Suicide Squad.
Oh yeah, sorry. I didn't mean to mispronoun Suicide Squad. The Suicide Squad. A big difference.
You misarticled the Suicide Squad. Anyway, get going.
Did pretty well on the for its opening weekend, 26,000 in I guess around the world. Oh, domestic. I'm sorry. Domestically, pretty decent numbers. Obviously, not as huge as Black Widow, and I don't think anything can touch Black Widow. But are you surprised by the number of 25 plus thousand million? Excuse me. I don't know why I keep saying thousand million. Excuse me.
I think not, because first off, every movie is doing, uh, even the big blockbuster quote unquote films are doing under budget pretty much. They're
Mm-hmm.
they're flopping monetarily, but just the fact that people are going to see them in theaters, I think, is being considered a success.
It's a W.
Yeah. So it's still, a low number, but it's higher than zero. And that's the worst number you could possibly get, you know?
Yeah.
Um, I would at least say that I think most people might have been more excited for Suicide Squad than Black Widow, because at least Suicide Squad has the marketing caveat of fixing the mistakes
Yeah.
of the previous Suicide Squad,
Yeah.
righting that wrong. So I think people were a little more excited to see it, nonetheless. When it debuts on HBO Max, or when it comes to HBO Max, I would like to see how it does because I anticipate it will do better. Um, but for sure, yeah, that's just my opinion.
I believe it is on the HBO Max
Already?
already. Yeah, I think it premiered same day. I don't think HBO releases their numbers though.
No? Oh, that's why I can't find it. That's why I thought that they were going to hold off on it, but if they don't release their numbers, that's understandable.
Yeah, you gotta hide behind the numbers. um,
Yeah.
are you excited? Would you
Did
say
you
you're
see it?
excited to? No, I haven't seen it yet. I'm interested in
Okay.
seeing it. I think this trailer,
Mm.
I think it embodies the Suicide Squad comic a whole lot more
Mm-hmm.
than you know, the
Yeah.
original one where we got what was it, Queen? Were we playing Queen in the original trailer?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
and James Gunn just knows how to make wacky characters, so I think um I mean he most famously did it with Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy, for sure.
Yes, so I think I am interested to see it. I don't think I would ever have said that about a DC movie, a DCEU movie. Um I don't know. Maybe we'll do a surprise episode on the Suicide Squad. Who knows? Ooh.
Whoa. Yeah, a whole
But
2 weeks after it comes out.
this is for the 5 people who
Pretty
listen to our
much.
pod and
Yeah.
want to hear our opinions before they go watch it.
Yeah.
um,
Two,
but
4 out of
this,
the 5 who will never watch Suicide Squad.
yeah, right, yeah. But this past weekend, had the premiere of Free Guy, the Ryan Reynolds movie about basically, I think he's in a video
A
game.
free
Yeah,
guy.
he's in a video game,
Yeah.
and he kind of just decides to not be a free guy, or he wants to be a free guy. $28.4 million opening weekend. Pretty that's a pretty substantial number
That seems
for
on par with
a.
just about everything else.
But is it
Well, it's
though?
like
Because
kind of for a non-franchise.
yeah, it's a
No,
non-franchise
because that's.
comedy. Like that's
I think part of it. I think is might possibly because it's a Ryan Reynolds movie, and it's also not a Marvel or a DC movie, and I
mhm.
think people want to see something other than that, and so they were willing to give this one a shot because that 20 million is still kind of on par with how Black Widow did and how Suicide Squad did. So, you know, the same amount of people more or less are going to see these movies is basically what I'm saying. Whether Free Guy is a movie that deserved 28 million on its opening day, I don't know.
You telling me you don't wanna do a review pod on that?
Of a Free Guy, no. Sorry, but no. I mean, it's basically the Truman Show, but with extra steps, right?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's a no for me.
I should mention
But
that was an estimate, not the final number.
not
So
the
if
actual
anybody's
number.
gonna add us in the comments of like it was actually 27.65, it's like okay, we're recording this on a Sunday night, so um, cut us some slack. The weekend's not completely over yet, but that is the estimate, 28,000. Don't Breathe
So
2
while
is
we're
number
talking
2.
about this, oh
Before we, is that a? Did you ever watch the original one?
no, I did not, and I can tell you that it's not a sequel. That I anticipated
I don't
because
think.
it's like how long do they hold their breath for? But
Some Olympic swimmers or something.
I
Damn.
mean, well, we have The Quiet Place, and now we have Don't Breathe.
True.
We had Lights Out. Do you remember Lights Out?
Yeah, we had Bird Box.
So this kind of this sensory deprivation horror genre.
The next one is gonna be Don't
I
Touch
guess
Anything.
We already have Don't Go to the Beach, That Makes You Old.
Yeah, there you go. There we go. Yeah, yeah. Basically, just don't go outside. You think this is
Just
it's a statement on
This is
the
the perfect-
pandemic?
yeah, the perfect COVID movie, the sensory deprivation
Yeah,
genre. Pretty much.
it's funny.
So while we're talking,
yeah, that was
about,
interesting.
movies, how do you feel about The Green Knight getting a 1-day streaming release?
Let's go. Where's it gonna be? I didn't even see that.
I assume it was just A24's website.
Is it? I'm down.
Because they're releasing it on August 18th, and for that day only, you pay to rent it, and that's it.
Well, I think they
That's it.
just saw that they can. They didn't really have like a big turnout. It's only made so far up to 12 million.
I don't think that. I think this was predetermined.
See, but if it was predetermined, I feel like we would have heard something prior to. No?
Well, no, because they gotta be sneaky about it, my guy. They gotta, because if they do it, then Marvel, who has already releasing their movies, can just immediately steal that idea and say, "Hey, we're gonna now do Black Widow for just 1 day," something like that. So I think they did it because it's like A24. Are they gonna get into streaming? Are they gonna? What are they gonna do? I feel like they were like, let's just try something different. It will at the very least draw attention to them, even if it has a low turnout, which I don't think it will, because I think most people are like, oh, that's interesting.
An
You
A24
can only
movie.
see it. I mean, I'm just imagining, their server room that day is just probably going to melt into liquid. But I can't imagine they would have the bandwidth to support that many people all watching a movie at the same time.
I am not expecting good things to come out of this. There are going to be a lot of upset people on
You
Reddit.
can't fault them. Yeah. And I'm not going to fault them for trying.
No, me neither.
Can't fault A24 for doing something different.
No. So it looks like it's going to be $20. You can watch it August 18th at 9 p.m. Eastern, and it's available for 4 hours. That's... I don't know how I feel about that. That's double the price of
You
a
don't know
ticket.
how you feel about that?
And you only get to watch it once. That's weird. Because at least with Disney, you pay the $30, but you have it in your catalog basically forever.
Yeah.
Or with Amazon paying $12 to buy it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they're going to make a lot of money off of it. I think it'll get, like you said, it'll get them some attention. But I've already seen it, so I don't even know why I'm crying over it. I've already seen.
Well, you don't want to watch it the second time?
I don't know about
you would see it in
$20.
theaters.
Yeah,
I
I don't really like watching movies at home. It's prefer the movie going experience, the theater.
I see.
But,
yeah, we did
that's
a whole
interesting.
episode on
it. It is. Are we getting meta right now?
Let's move on.
Speaking of meta, a
How so?
platform that has changed the meta of filmmaking, for better or worse, YouTube, the number 2 most viewed website in the entire world. Do you know what number 1 is?
I'm gonna. I have a feeling I know, but I want to guess Wikipedia.
No, it is Google.
No.
Google.com is the number 1.
Google.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
Google.com. I wasn't sure
my
if that counted or not.
My phone
My
thinks
other
it's
guess
talking
was
to
going to be like the Yahoo homepage.
No, it's not a.
Oh,
Yeah, so YouTube is number 2, Google's number 1. Can you guess where
Wow.
Facebook is at?
Facebook is
Yeah.
going to be number 4, 5. Okay.
Facebook is actually 7. So 3, 4, 5, and
7.
6 are all Chinese companies, Chinese websites, and then 7 is
Wow.
Facebook. 8 and 9 are
That's
Chinese,
interesting.
and then 10 is Amazon. 11 is Yahoo. 13 is Wikipedia. So
Wow.
Wikipedia's up
Come on,
there.
Wikipedia, get your numbers up.
Yeah. I mean, Wikipedia only applies to every high schoolers. So, not everybody goes on Wikipedia. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, man, I used Wikipedia in college.
True. All right, let me ask you about. Let's talk about YouTube then. Let's get down to the nitty gritty.
YouTube.
A bigger social impact than I think people can realize. Like, I don't know if you remember a pre 2013, 14 YouTube, but it didn't feel like there was, at least in terms
Impact?
of filmmaking, right? Like there wasn't a lot of movies on YouTube. And then I feel like once Marvel and DC, they started putting other stuff on YouTube, like trailers and featurettes and stuff like that. Every single production company, every single studio just put all their stuff on YouTube, and now you can't even scroll without finding some kind of trailer on the trending page or some behind the scenes interview.
Yeah, I don't know when YouTube took off in terms of that, in terms of people realizing, hey, we can, this is just a marketing tool for us now.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of, that, I don't know when it started. I can definitely say that there was, I would say maybe 2014 or so, I think, is really when it kicked off, because that was when YouTube, I feel like, started to take itself seriously as a brand and started allowing companies to do stuff like that. Because that was when we got the YouTube Rewind stuff for the first time. And I feel like from that moment on, YouTube was more willing to, because previously it was like, you could get copyright striked for having any song in your background, in your video or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And the only source of music was the Vimeo, the Vemo. Do you remember those? How artists would have Vivo channels.
Yeah, I do. I remember that.
Every artist had a Vivo channel. Yeah, that was the only source of music on YouTube.
Uh-huh.
Nobody had a personal channel pretty much. I feel like that was really the year, I would say, that it really kicked off for YouTube. Yeah, for sure.
Dude, I still remember when you couldn't put your own music on YouTube. You had to pick. They gave you a specific. If you weren't a partner, you had to. There was a catalog you had to pick from.
Of songs.
So that way you weren't. Yeah, you weren't banned or you had a copyright issue or anything like that. I still remember that. And it's crazy how far it's come, because now you can put we could put a 30-second clip of a song at the end of our
as long as you can,
podcast.
As long as you can get
YouTube.
permission and have the copyright at the bottom, you're good.
Yeah, yeah.
Good old YouTube. So, let me ask you this then. Compared to Hollywood, where do you see YouTubers compared to industry filmmaking? Where do you see, what level are YouTubers at? 'Cause it's
Um,
different for everyone, but just as a collective group. Because I feel like for a very, very long time, a very long time, and I'm saying this up until like maybe 2019, 2020, up until about then, I feel like the goal of the YouTube, the goal of a successful YouTuber was to break into their industry.
mhm.
And you would see YouTubers who they were all passionate about filmmaking. And so once they got that opportunity to, that's what they would go into. You would see YouTubers would make their own movies, or some YouTubers would
TV
even
shows.
begin working in television. Yeah. Or if they were, vloggers, they would do acting, something like that,
Yeah. Mhm.
Or if they were comedians, they would star in something. And I feel like that was the goal of YouTubers for a very long time. Then I think it's only recently changed into you do YouTube. That's now your end goal. Your content, your industry is now YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that
I don't know
is
if you would
that is
agree
a
with that or not.
very that no, that's a very fair observation. I think there is a distinct, as not even aesthetic difference, but just like technique difference as far as
Mm-hmm.
just this is all cinephile
Yeah.
stuff, but the way the you shoot something or act something out or edit something, it feels like YouTube can at times be more, what's the word? They're not as rigid with their technique, and they're not as
It's
formulaic
more
at times,
accessible with, yeah. It's a lot more
and it's
accessible, the
more
type of niche content you can make.
it's
It's
more
more
experimental.
forgiving,
Yeah.
I should say. Yeah. Like, for example, on television, Leonard Bernstein used to have a good 2 hour long show where he would talk about music. He would walk you through how he conducts an orchestra. And that was television. This was back in like, the 50s and 60s. That's just not on TV anymore. But you can go on to YouTube and you can find composers and musicians talk about composing and writing music. And it might not be 2 hours, it would be like an Adam Neely video, it would only be like 15, 20 minutes. But that, you know, YouTube is a lot more forgiving for that style of content, whereas television was kind of like, well, you're going to perform an orchestra piece. We can't really put ads throughout it. We can't go to commercial through, in the middle of a second movement, something like that.
Yeah.
Just ruin the cadenza with a quick commercial break. But so let's get this out of the way. Fred the movie.
I knew we were gonna get there eventually.
Is it the breakthrough for YouTube that it needed?
I mean, yeah,
We all know
because
Smosh the movie is.
after Fred, every other YouTuber got a movie or a TV show of some kind on quote unquote mainstream.
There was Smosh. Smosh had a movie.
Yep.
There was The Annoying Orange.
Yep.
They had a TV show.
They had a TV show.
Yeah, and it was on Cartoon Network too, wasn't it?
Yes, I
That's
remember
crazy,
it.
man. Yeah.
Who else was there?
There's even People Forget There is Bo Burnham, who went on to do movies and stand up. There is Justin Bieber, who was part of that, crowd of your goal is to break into the industry, and that was what
Yeah,
he ended up doing
I remember that.
successfully, actually. There are some YouTube musicians from back in the day, like, I don't know if you remember the song Chocolate Rain. Tayson Day has just purposely stayed on YouTube. He never bothered to chase after the industry. He has continued to just stay on YouTube this whole time. So, not everyone would take that route, but that was really the goal for most people. And you would see people like Justin Bieber or Bo Burnham who, when they got that opportunity to do something larger with more money behind it, that was the goal, and they took it. I mean, even Bo Burnham had a TV show, I think. Yeah, he had a TV show. I forgot what it was called. It was like Zach Something is going to be famous, but that was his MTV show.
It should be noted though that not every crossover is cringe, like Fred or Smosh or Annoying Orange. Even though I excuse the Annoying Orange because it's for kids, I'll excuse that one. But I think the two most famous examples of YouTubers crossing over into the mainstream and actually being successful at it is Broad City and Workaholics.
Yeah, they were YouTube shorts, right?
Two of the
YouTube
biggest
videos.
comedy shows on TBS that originated on YouTube, and somebody was just like, "Hey, you guys want money to make this like a legit production?" And they were like, "Okay," and the rest is history from that. So
same with Lonely Islands. Though, do you remember?
Oh yeah, they did have a movie. They did have a movie. Yeah, I remember. I was like,
no,
what
not
movie
just
did
that they
Lonely
had a
Island
movie,
get in?
but that they started on YouTube. They started on YouTube and then they went to SNL. Yeah. And then,
I do remember
what was
that.
the movie? Wasn't it called like Pop Star?
Yeah, it was like Pop Star Never Stopping or something like that.
Never stopping, never stop,
Never
stopping,
or keep never stopping, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
So now, here's the issue that I think comes up, or at least doesn't get talked about, is that when these people break, here's the thing with YouTube. Because it's so unforgiving about, or it's so forgiving for what type of content you can put on it. You can have video essays, you can have skits, you can have straight up just like educational explanation,
or a
YouTube
podcast,
memes, stuff like that. Yeah, or a podcast. What's interesting you see is that the people who break into the mainstream don't go back to YouTube.
Yeah.
And that's not to
Lily
say
Singh?
that it's like, it's yeah. She had a talk show.
She had a talk show, a late night talk show that was terrible. Apparently, I never watched it.
Bad. Okay,
and
well, there is something to be said about the current state of YouTube and its relation to the and I think Lily Singh fits into that conversation.
Good point. You got me.
Because as YouTube has separated itself from mainstream industry, I think the gulf between what is forgivable on YouTube and what is unforgivable on TV has become so great that you can't cross over anymore, or else it is going to be cringy and unrelatable. I mean, even that way where it's like, YouTubers will go on talk shows, like they'll go on the Ellen Show, or they'll go on Colbert, and they're always like, so you're really popular on YouTube, and it's like they clearly have no idea, like,
it's kind of demeaning
what to talk about. Yeah, it's like they don't know how to interact with YouTubers. They don't really see them as, equal in a weird way. or not just that they don't see them as equal, but they don't have like the same communication.
Mm-hmm.
There's such a huge. Just watch any video of a YouTuber on a talk show. The communication barrier between the talk show host and the YouTuber is like it is the Grand Canyon levels of deep.
Yeah, it's kind of weird how
It is
Hollywood has a
so
elitist
horrible.
point of view towards YouTube, and I'm not saying it's unjustified in any way. I'm just saying it's, you would
Yeah.
think, it's like, hey, you're famous, I'm famous, like nice to meet you, but it's almost like sometimes these people
Yeah.
put their noses in the air whenever they're forced to talk to one another or something. It's kind of like, oh, you
Well,
came
what's
from
funny too is that
YouTube.
from YouTube. Yeah. And what's funny too is that people will what people you hear this all the time is, well, if you want to do something, you can do it. You just got to do it on YouTube.
Yeah, yeah. That was
That's
always
how
the
you
thing,
break
right?
into the
Just
industry, man. Is you put it on YouTube and you get discovered.
post
Yeah.
make sure you post on YouTube so you can get lots of
Yeah.
lots of recognition. Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, then go viral. Yeah. How wrong they were.
Now it
No,
just
you
seems
never
like
know.
YouTube is its own thing. It's not even like a stepping stone for, you know, for Hollywood anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, can you think of any YouTuber within the past
Yeah.
5 years? I can think of one
Who?
that has successfully branched over. Jimmy Tatro. He's on 22 Jump Street. He plays Rooster, the guy with the mohawk, the red mohawk.
Mm. Yeah.
He's on American Vandal.
Huh. He just do like skit videos pretty much.
Yeah, he would just his whole basically like pre 2012 is just him on YouTube doing a bunch of funny sketch videos. And I guess
Mm.
he just had such a big catalog to just for agents to look at him and be like, "Hey, we want this guy in our movie." And it worked itself
Yeah.
out because he's not really like he's not cringy, It's not like Cameron Dallas trying to act in a baseball movie or anything.
Yeah. The other example I can think of as well, and somebody who's actually been around for a very long time on YouTube, is Gavin Free, who's a British YouTuber who has a channel called The Slow Mo Guys, and he would do these incredibly high speed slow motion videos of just various stuff, like like a water balloon exploding, but it's at like 1,000 frames per second or something like that, And he would do slow motion effects on movies. Like I know he worked on the Judge Dredd movie. I don't know if you ever saw that. And he worked on the Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes. Both those movies have slow motion in them, and he was part of the camera operating on those films. So to some degree, there's definitely something to be said about if your skills can be used in Hollywood, you might still be able to do something with them. But I feel like for the majority of people, and this isn't most YouTubers nowadays clearly just want to do YouTube. They are clearly just doing YouTube for the sake of that is their career now. They're not necessarily trying to get an agent to see them so that they could do TV show or that they could do movies or something like that. I think they're just in it for YouTube now,
I mean, there's a lot of money to be
And I
made
think
on YouTube, man.
there is a lot of money for sure,
Some of these
especially with
YouTubers.
Patreon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even the big guys, but like smaller creators.
It almost feels
'Cause
like.
here's what's interesting.
Oh, go ahead. Finish your thought.
We both had two separate points to make. I'll let you go first because mine is going to lead into a different conversation. Yeah, you go first.
So is mine. Okay, I'll go.
Okay.
It almost feels like Twitch is becoming the new YouTube, right? Where it's just like unfiltered, unedited, almost raw content. versus, now YouTube, like everybody has shooting in 30 fps or 24 fps. Everybody has a professional lighting setup. Everybody has, is shooting with a Panasonic or a Fuji,
Yeah. And what's interesting too is I don't know what kind of YouTubers you watch, but a lot of the YouTubers I follow, their YouTube channels are just clips from their streams.
Yeah. Sometimes, yeah.
People like Clint Stevens or Ludwig, or they just take their stream and then they just cut it down to a YouTube video. Yeah.
What was your thought?
What's actually really funny is that I was watching a video today about a guy talking about quantum field theory, and he was like, by the way, make sure you follow me on Twitch where I do all my research. And I'm like, you just sit there and do math problems all day? What are you doing on Twitch?
People are into that. People are really into that kind of stuff. It's crazy how we're evolving as far as how our content,
I think
we like to digest our content.
Yeah. Well, I think that's really what Twitch's place will be. If it's not replacing YouTube, I think it's just a vehicle for people to release content. Some people prefer watching live streams, some people prefer watching YouTube videos, And it's good that there are people who want to watch live streams who have a platform they can watch them on. I remember like back when YouTube was the only place you could watch live streams, and that was
a long time ago.
Nowhere near the community that Twitch has, It was nice to, talk to YouTubers or whatnot, but it's nowhere near the community that, Twitch rivals YouTube in terms of the community around creators. But I think streaming is just another way to get content. In the same way that Vine or TikTok, I remember when Vine came out, people were like, it's going to replace YouTube. Everything is going to be 6 seconds. It's like, well, it ended up not doing that because it was just the people who wanted to see 5-second videos went to Vine. And the people who didn't stayed on YouTube, And then you just watch the Vine compilations on YouTube anyway, so it doesn't matter.
YouTubers still made money.
Yeah, seriously. So what can you do? So what I think is interesting about YouTube is also how in the last, I don't know if you feel this way, but I feel like in the last 3 years, the amount of content on YouTube has just expanded beyond like the scope of what I thought it could be. Like it almost feels like there's too much on YouTube now.
Yeah.
Part of it is because I feel like you can just make any kind of video you want on anything, and anyone is allowed to do it. And I feel like once people realize the money there is in it, not only with ad revenue, but with Patreon, and they said, I can do this as a career, the people who were attracted to that went and did it. And that has led to such an explosion of content. I mean, literally just looking at my YouTube homepage right now, I have everything from speed running to Khan Academy to Formula One to a video on The Rise of Skywalker being a really bad movie to COVID news. Just one of everything. The video game Donkey, you gotta have him. I mean, there's just everything is available.
Yeah.
And it's too much. It's too much.
Apparently, according to
what's crazy too?
YouTube, they videos are uploaded at a rate of more than 500 hours of content per minute.
That's crazy.
That's a lot of hours.
Yeah. So, let me ask you this. When did you start taking YouTube seriously?
Mm.
Did you have a moment or a creator or a YouTuber where you were like, this person is taking YouTube seriously, therefore I should take it seriously as well?
Um, this is gonna be a extreme blast of the past. Are you ready for it?
Hmm.
Do you
Yeah,
remember
go
Ray William Johnson?
ahead. Yeah. Sadly, yeah, I remember Ray William Johnson.
This
Did
is
you
the
see
moment.
equals 3 and you were like, I can do that?
No, I didn't say it and say I could do that, but I saw the
Hmm.
level. I mean, he's basically Tosh Point oh, but for YouTubers, and I
Yeah.
saw like the level of I don't want to say craft. I'll say craft. I'll say craft, but the the time and the effort that it took to make an equals three video that's 6 minutes
Hmm.
long.
Yeah.
At the time, YouTube was not anything it is remotely now. Now it's like if you don't edit your YouTube video, what are you even doing? Um,
Yeah.
Back then it was just
Yeah.
like I'm gonna record my friend doing something stupid, put it on YouTube.
Hmm.
For him to put so much time and effort into editing his videos and to deliver
Hmm.
write scripts and stuff like that, I was just like, man, this is kind of crazy how he can just kind of he can do that
Yeah.
for like is this his job? And I guess it was his job.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Well, back then you could get partnered, and that was where the money was.
Yeah.
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 Um, you know what's so interesting about Ray William Johnson? I barely ever watched his videos, but I think he was one of the first people to introduce the internet to a certain comedian named Gabriel Iglesias. And that man has become much more than Ray William Johnson has
Oh
ever
yeah.
has managed to, which is crazy. Because he's a funny guy.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I remember watching his
he's a
stuff on
funny guy.
YouTube first. That's how I became
Yeah, seriously,
known with him.
crazy man.
That seems
Yeah,
to be also YouTube's meta
you know what?
is comedians making that jump now. It's not even serious actors or
Mm,
writers or, you know, directors or anything. It's just
yeah.
if you're funny, put a special on YouTube
Hmm.
and, somebody will buy your
Yeah,
special. I mean, we've seen this. Andrew Schultz did
yeah.
it. Trevor Wallace is doing it. Those are two of the YouTubers that YouTube comedians that I keep track of the most.
Mm,
And it's kind of
yeah.
interesting.
I will say, I'm always cautious when I hear news like that, where it's always like, oh, this YouTuber is gonna be in this TV show, or is gonna do this stand-up special. I'm like, well, I don't know about that. If it will, I doubt it. My instinct is to doubt that it will work,
Hmm.
that it will turn out well. Um, Maybe just because I'm cynical, but
I mean, I think we
most of
have
the time
a
their
big enough
content,
track record to know when a YouTuber is in a big show. It's not the best show.
yeah, yeah, seriously. Oh god, and don't even talk about YouTube originals.
Yeah, I remember when PewDiePie came out with his when I think he was the
Scare
first show
PewDiePie.
on YouTube Red.
Yeah,
Or I guess it was YouTube Red. Now it's YouTube TV. But
yeah,
damn, that's how long I've been on YouTube. Is I
premium.
know it. I remember it as Red.
Yeah, seriously.
But
You know what's funny too is when I was researching this episode, that's why I typed in. I was like YouTube Red, and it came up with YouTube Premium, and I was like, "What happened? Is YouTube Red the other site, or is it what it's supposed to be?"
it's the offsite.
Yeah. But you know what's funny too is I remember way back, even before YouTube Red, YouTube was um experimenting with monetizing videos, like with paywall. You had to pay before you watched it. And I remember because the first types of videos that you could have paid to watch were rap battles.
What?
Which, for people who are not into battle rap, it's almost always behind a paywall anyway. I mean, if you're just a fan that you pay to watch them, you just know that that's just how that works. But they're not on YouTube. And then they'll just get uploaded to YouTube for free anyway, so you don't even have to pay to watch them. You just gotta wait a month. But that was the first type of content that YouTube decided to experiment a paywall with with the videos, was battle rap. And I remember this was back in like 2012, almost, maybe even 2013. I remember people being like, "Oh, of course this isn't gonna work. Nobody's gonna watch this. What are you doing, my guy?" And it wasn't even like a super popular battle league either. It wasn't even like URL or something like that. But that's besides the point. I just remember that was YouTube's idea of, we should, let's see if people will pay to watch videos.
Rap battles.
Let's see if they'll watch something that nobody watches anyway.
I don't remember that. That's
people just making
wow.
fun
You were in a completely deeper hole with YouTube than I was.
Well, that part of the reason why you don't remember it is because it didn't work.
True.
Like they did that for like a month, and then like a year passed, and then after about a year, they were like, "Hey, now we're actually gonna experiment with making you pay to watch stuff with YouTube Red." It's like, okay, I see how it is. You guys, you consider that part a failure, pretty much. LMAO. But yeah. And here's the thing about YouTube though that I think really here's the thing. The popular side, there's like two parts of YouTube. YouTube is kept alive by two different forces within itself. It's kept alive by the super popular side of YouTube that gets all the money and gets all the attention.
Yeah.
These are the influencers, the Jake Pauls, the Logan Pauls, all the TikTok people who are on YouTube now, whoever they are, I don't know. But then there's like the YouTuber side of YouTube, and those are the people who like, the Vlog Brothers and the Vsauce, the Philip DeFrancos, the people who are like, this platform is a content delivery platform and we want to preserve it as, not just we want to make good content, but like the Vlog Brothers, for example, they were the ones who started the VidCon. That was their idea. And that was, was outside of YouTube. And then YouTube was like, oh my God, YouTube wants to be a community. It wants to be a platform. We'll get in on it. We'll help them do it. We'll help VidCon out. And now it is, that little convention is as large as it is. But, there's like a side of YouTube that maybe doesn't get the attention and certainly probably isn't getting the paycheck. But YouTube is definitely kept alive by those, because the popular people, they come and go. They just come and go. Casey Neistat had his day in the spotlight.
Their clientele is...
Shane Carl had his day.
Oh man, Casey Neistat, what a name. That's a big throwback. Remember when he stopped doing his daily vlogs for like 2 days and then he went back because he was losing money?
Yeah, pretty much.
I remember that.
Classic. Yeah. So I feel like there's always that side of YouTube, the people who take it seriously, the people who see it more as a career rather than a stepping stone. Those people, I think, are really where YouTube, as a platform that will just let you do what you want, you can broadcast yourself. And I think that is where YouTube shines, because that's mostly what we watch, right?
I mean, you know,
I don't know about you,
I
but
dabble in the Paul brothers occasionally.
the Paul brothers. You
Yeah,
have
you
some
know, I got to
Jimmy
keep up with
Fallon.
the
You're
latest.
subscribed to Jimmy Fallon.
I got to keep up with the latest
Oh, I
gossip.
see. Oh, I see how it is. No, man, that's what D'Angelo Wallace is for. You just watch his videos,
Oh,
and
okay, yeah,
then
yeah, good point, good point. Sorry.
you'll know what's going on. Yeah, man. Dude, when the YouTube app removed the explore page, that was like the happiest day of my life.
The
I
explore
was like, I
page.
will never again, because that's where you see all the popular stuff,
No, it's still
the
here.
trending videos. Not on my app.
What? Nah, it's
They
on
got
mine.
rid of it on my app. Yeah, it's
It's on.
replaced with shorts,
Interesting.
which I know to
Oh,
never click on.
so it's on the app, and I mean, it's on the web page, but it's not on the
Oh, it's
app.
at the top. Wow, look at that. I never would have
They move
noticed
it on
that.
the app.
Well,
Hold on,
that's
let me look at
good
the app.
because I would hate accidentally
There
clicking
it
on
is.
that and having to see whatever was trending.
Yeah, I remember. I only ever checked the
I'm
trending when either Donkey or um there's another
nice.
YouTuber who would always be at the top of the trending, and I was like, oh, dope, you're at the top of the trending.
Oh, BTS.
It's not BTS. Oversimplified. That's who it was.
Oversimplified. Okay.
Yeah, every time
Oh,
Oversimplified
yeah.
puts out a video, it's always at the top of the trending.
True. Yeah.
I mean, it takes them like a
There's
million
that
years
type of.
to make a video, but nonetheless.
It's them, and then there's the. Oh god, there's like a German YouTube channel that has a really impossible to pronounce name. It's like Kurzges. Do you know that channel?
No,
In a
no,
nutshell. You've never heard of In a
no.
Nutshell? You've seen their videos before. Look it up right now. In a Nutshell.
In a no. Oh yeah, I have. Yeah,
There you go.
yeah. My last one I
Yeah.
watched was the day the dinosaurs died, minute by minute.
Jeez, that's kind of messed up. I don't know if I've ever watched their videos.
Yeah, they put out some decent videos from time to time. There's videos like that though where I'm just like, man, you guys, if I could even do, I mean, I guess I could do like 50% of what you do. Like that would be the life. Just make videos where it's informational and you enjoy doing it and it's actually good stuff. Instead
Yeah.
of, hey, watch me drive my Tesla into a pool for no reason other than I just want to be a
Yeah.
prick.
Watch me drop my phone from 1,000 feet to see if it will crack.
Yeah. You remember? Do you remember that one YouTube channel that would do it? I think it was like destroy
The drop tests.
something like that. It was like no, it was like destroy, and he would just destroy his stuff in the most stupidest way. He like filled a pool with. I remember one time he filled a pool with Coke, and then he put Mentos in it, and then he threw his iPhone in it. It was like, why?
What?
Why? What was the point of this?
Why the iPhone? You already have Coke and Mentos in a pool. You don't need to throw the iPhone in there.
Yeah, it was so stupid. Anyways,
Yeah, no, I try not to make fun of content I don't watch, but
I don't.
Sometimes I just look and I'm just like, what the heck?
No, I make fun of
are
content.
you people doing?
I make fun of people who
That's
watch.
why I avoid the explore page.
Yeah, I make fun of people who watch weird content. Like my sister, I'll make fun of my sister because she watches the family vlogs. Like, why do you watch this crap? Your family's in the living room.
Yeah, no, family vlogs. Family vlogs are creepy and they're crap, and I don't know why anybody watches them. Even back in the day,
I think it's just kids. Anytime you can't find an
Kids
answer for
watching
anything, just say kids.
it's just children watching it. Yeah, probably. True. Yeah. Yeah. Do you feel like there's some truth in the idea that like YouTubers don't evolve their content? Like part of the reason why you don't watch what you used to watch is because they just, Smosh hasn't changed and you did, so you just don't need to watch Smosh anymore.
Well, I mean, like Casey Neistat. When's the last time you saw him on the front page?
Yeah,
remember
seriously.
when he was always on the front page, and now it's like,
yeah.
does he
Remember
even?
when you couldn't avoid seeing him?
Like, does he even exist?
His last video was 2 months ago, so maybe he doesn't.
Oh no, sorry, Casey. I didn't mean to speak out in turn.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Yeah, man.
All right,
now,
your 5 favorite YouTubers right now. Go.
Wait, 5 favorite YouTubers? Oh
Yeah,
my God. Okay,
yeah.
let me go to
If
my
you had,
subscription tab.
if YouTube called you today and said, "Hey, we're banning all of your accounts. You can only get 5 YouTube accounts to follow for the rest of your life."
5 channels. Oh, that's easy. Okay. Rihanna Vivo.
Okay,
Justin
good
Bieber
one.
Vivo.
Good one. Okay.
BTS Vivo.
Okay.
And then Fine Brothers Vivo.
Fine Brothers. That's another. Hey, speaking of which, that's another YouTuber that doesn't change their formula, and it feels like they've fallen off the face of the map, face of the earth, face of the map, face of the earth.
I mean, might
right?
Be a map, yeah. So, what's your opinion on React videos?
I hate them. I think they're the laziest form of.
Despite the fact that Ray William Johnson,
listen,
godfather of React videos,
I was 12 at the time. I was 12. I didn't know any better.
No.
Okay. Now I know better. I still remember when the Fine Bros were being they had that backlash when they tried to trademark React.
They were trying to sue. Yeah. They tried to trademark literally an idea.
And everybody was like, we need to, all of YouTube was like, this is so dumb. And I was like, yeah, this is stupid. I had my pitchfork up. It was the one time I joined the pitchfork club. A picket line.
The Fine Brothers are a really good example of what I've been talking about, though, of YouTube as its own content delivery thing, because they started producing shorts and series. They did whole web series. And so to a degree, their goal was the industry. They were doing web series, and I actually remember some of their videos were on Tosh.0 as well.
I think so, yeah.
So that was kind of their aim, yeah. It wasn't until they started doing the kids react that they realized, if we just do this on YouTube, we don't have to go to people. People will come to us.
Yeah, I mean, they had the same rotation of people, I think.
Back in the day, the kids react was actually, back when I was a kid, I watched kids react because it was different. React videos weren't really a popular thing at the time. And they certainly weren't produced with actual production like the Fine Brothers had. They had sets, they had editing, they had multiple people reacting to one thing. They also haven't changed their formula since. They've just added gender and age into the equation, where it's now is like old people react and what have you. Old people react, yeah, because we need to know what old people think about what have you.
Yeah.
I remember, I remember they did it was old people and teens react to Obama versus Mitt Romney debate.
That's just scraping at the bottom of the barrel.
I remember that was one of their old videos.
When you start getting...
And it was like the back and forth between all the teenagers were like, yeah, let's go Obama. And all the old people were like, yeah, let's go Romney. And I was like, what? That was, I think, when I really stopped watching, where I was like, okay, you guys just don't have a point to prove anymore. You're just throwing anything in front of people. Literally just to get a reaction.
Yeah.
You're not trying to,
They're putting no effort into their content.
prove anything. Yeah.
I would agree with that.
And I was like, see ya. And now react videos are just
Everywhere.
I mean, musician reacts, medical professional with dubious actual understanding of the medical profession reacts. Any person of any race reacts.
I will say,
white person reacts.
I
Mexican
will say
reacts.
my favorite ones are people watching music that they don't normally listen to. Like I was watching some guys, they usually listen to hip hop and rap, and they were jamming out to MGMT and
I don't.
Michael Bolton. I was like, dope. I'm with this. I'm with this.
You know, I will admit it depends on the reactor because, like,
Yeah,
for
yeah, that's
example, if it's musician or like, you know, yeah, musician reacts to or this certain album or song, I'm like, what might they have to say to it? There are some times where they're just like, yeah, this is really good. And then, you know, there are the people who are actually legit who they're like, okay, here's what they're doing musically here. You know, here's what they're actually doing in terms of the theory. The Rick Beatos and those kind of guys. Those guys you can trust. If it's just somebody saying, wow, this is cool, I don't care.
Pausing it and be like, oh, that, yeah.
I'm looking at you. Yeah, I'm looking at you, British guitarist reacts. I actually think that's what his channel is called.
Oh man, what a lazy name.
It's yeah, no. That guy. I think he produces more reactive videos than there are videos of people playing guitar.
I do enjoy the self-proclaimed professionals reacting to things.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, dude, don't tell me you haven't seen freaking battle rapper reacts to rap battle.
You know what? It's not. It hasn't popped up yet, but it is.
Not on your radar?
It is.
It's a possibility.
It might show up now that we're talking about it because YouTube hears everything. Google hears everything.
Yeah, true. Yeah. If you ever see Ruin Your Day on your recommended, give it a
I'm gonna
shot.
blame you.
Yeah, feel free. So, in terms of how content has evolved on YouTube, I feel like it has gone in this weird cyclical wave where it started with, in a weird way, YouTube really started with a lot of scripted content. I don't know if people really remember this, but a lot of old YouTube was scripted. Stuff like Lonely Girl 15, Marble Hornets, the Fine Brothers, who were literally doing like short films basically. That was a lot of early YouTube was like that.
Mm-hmm.
Even like Smosh, for example, you know, those kind of skits. And then I feel like there was a weird shift into music. And YouTube was about music for a very long time.
Yeah, like in the mid 2010s.
Yeah. There was a lot of there was your Justin Biebers. There were the Gregory brothers who did the Double Rainbow song. And they did the Hide Your Kids, Hide Your Wife. You remember that?
I do remember that.
Musicians like Pogo, and although we don't talk about Pogo, and there were a lot of indie YouTubers who were doing music. It was a weird like genre, and then a meteor hit, and that meteor had the words "video games" written and
yeah,
written over top it. And suddenly every YouTuber had 3 YouTube channels. They had their main channel, their vlog channel, and then their gaming channel.
I do remember this. This was like
Every
in high
YouTuber
school.
had 3 videos.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was the most ridiculous thing ever. Even back then, I was like, I'm not subscribing to them. I don't care.
I don't like you that much.
Yeah. I only like you for your content, not for your voice.
Yeah.
Not for your daily life.
I don't care about what you
But
ate.
no, around this time, because video games prior to PewDiePie were like machinima. Do you remember machinima?
I do remember Machinima, yeah. You remember Red versus Blue?
Yeah. Red versus Blue, yeah. That was Rooster Teeth. It was like Achievement Hunter and Machinima. Guys like, well, first off, the Achievement Hunter guys. And there was C-Nanners and Mr. Stark and Hutch is so cool.
Yeah, I remember
I
them.
remember those guys. Old school Call of Duty YouTube. Classic stuff, man. What you know about X-Jaws and White Boy 7 Street?
Oh man, you're going way deep.
But and then PewDiePie came around. And he just ruined everything for everyone. Because he just had to be the most subscribed.
Yeah,
person
nobody else could to play video games when PewDiePie came. Video games were banned.
No.
This is 1984.
Yeah, seriously. Here's what I think PewDiePie did right. He never left YouTube. Despite the fact that you couldn't escape him, he was the most subscribed to person of all time. He was the fastest to reach like 10 million or something like that. I remember that was like his landmark number was like 10 million.
He was the first to do 10. He was the first to do 50. He's the first to do 100 million, or second to do 100 million.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But he never left YouTube. And I think that put a lot of stock. He was the deep value. What DFV was for GameStop, PewDiePie was for YouTube. to use an analogy of such sorts. Because it really proved, I think, to a lot of people that, like, whoa, people are watching this guy. How many of those subscribers were bots back then? Probably a lot of them, but certainly not 10 million of them. You know, it was like insane. And he never left YouTube. He never said, I'm going to transfer this to movies. I'm going to go to TV shows or do anything like that. He has always been on YouTube. And he was he eventually became part of the side that was like, you know, he left the popular side to join the community side.
Yeah. Yeah, remember when nobody liked PewDiePie? Like in, I don't know, like 2015, 2016? And then just out of nowhere, he just swapped and everybody was like, oh, dude, PewDiePie is actually pretty dope. And it's like, what? I thought we hated this guy like 2 months ago.
Yeah. He was so popular, we all hated him, and now he's literally friends with everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, like he's making videos with iDubbbz and boys in a band and, you know, showing up with Donkey every once in a while and stuff like that. It's like, what? I thought, like, we like this guy again?
So and I feel like that really changed the course of YouTube in a weird way. Not to rest solely on PewDiePie's shoulders because...
Well, I mean, it's fair to say he is... I mean, let's be... Like, he's why YouTube is so big, you know?
Well, here's the thing. He's part of the reason why YouTube is so big, but in a weird way, he wasn't in control of it. Because he never changed his content until, like, 2016.
Yeah.
You know, his switch from video games to doing more of the what we see nowadays, which is like React videos, but they're edited.
Yeah.
React videos, but you just talk in between it.
Bruh sound effect number 2.
Yeah. You know, it was really the people going to see him, the big, you know, the amount of people he brought to YouTube that was really what I think changed. Because let's be fair, or at least let's be real, a lot of the people who originally subscribed to PewDiePie way back when probably aren't subscribed to him anymore, but they're definitely still on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
They're just watching other people
Because of him, yeah.
you know. Yeah. And I feel like that part of PewDiePie is really what brought a lot of people, because as much as I liked gaming YouTube, PewDiePie's style I never.
Have you ever watched a PewDiePie video?
Back when he played video games.
Even though you look like him?
No, I did. Okay, shut up. One time I was walking around ASU, and there were these kids who were there for some science event, and I walked by a group of maybe like 20 or 30 of these kids, and one guy goes, "Hey, it's PewDiePie." And every kid, all 30 children, turned to look at me, and I'm like,
should have gone with it.
Shut
You
up.
should have gone with it.
I'm gonna throw you in jail.
You should have been in all their pictures. God. They would have been like, "Oh, look, we were with PewDiePie."
They would have been like, "What happened to your accent?" Yeah.
Yeah.
Lowest point in my life. Seriously, but god dang it. Anyway, what was I gonna say? I completely forgot what I was gonna say. Oh god. But
I apologize for messing you up.
Anyway, no, don't worry. I feel like that's really what the strength of YouTube is now, though, is that first off, there's a lot to watch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
And second off, it's made by people who that's the content they want to make. No matter how good it is or how bad it is, they want to be YouTubers. They want to make that content.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's really what separates modern YouTube from YouTube of, you know, as recently as 3 or so years ago, I would say, just personally. I don't know if
yeah. It has definitely shifted over the years, and especially during this decade. Because I mean, yeah, now it just feels like people just put crap. Most people. I'm not, we're talking about the popular side of YouTube, not the quote unquote our side. What do they call it on TikTok? The straight and bite side. What do they call it on TikTok? Has this weird thing where it's like straight side of TikTok and the something side of TikTok. But anyways,
I don't. I'm not on TikTok, man. I don't.
The weird side of TikTok. I'm just gonna say. We're just gonna say the weird side of YouTube. It feels like.
Yeah.
The popular side is just crap, and it's been crap. Even though, like, even as far as like, I don't even like maybe 10 years ago. Like, remember when Julian Smith was a thing? He was the #1 subscribed guy on YouTube for a hot like month, 2 months, and he had some pretty. He actually put effort into his videos, and now it's just like, throw a camera in my face and watch me do something stupid, and it's kind of sad to see the state of YouTube and how far it's both digressed and also evolved into something greater.
Because there are good React videos. There's VFX artists React, for example.
Yeah.
That's
I like the GQ.
Series,
the GQ ones are pretty cool.
Now, is there's like a group of channels where it's like it's GQ, Vogue, and I forgot. I think it's ID, where it's like I can't tell their videos apart because they're all like one
the same.
One channel does celebrity Googles themselves. One channel does things you can't live without, and then one channel does timeline of your career. And they're all the exact same video. But it's 3 different channels who make it. Pretty much. And then one of them does the guy who is like, he talks about accents. The bow hunter reacts to bow scenes in movies, something like that. Navy SEAL Jocko Wilkins reacts to Navy
Yeah,
SEAL
I like
memes.
those. I like those.
Uh, God, yeah. We live on an earth that allows someone like Jocko Wilkins on YouTube.
We are blessed to have Jocko Wilkin on our YouTube.
Are we? Are we?
Yes.
Debatable.
Yes.
Okay, you're right. We are. Lamau. Man. And what's weird too is how many different, like, we say it's the weird side of YouTube, but a lot of those stuff I watch that I think is weird and no one else would watch, the videos all have millions of views,
Yeah.
and the channels
It just
all
shows
have, at
the
least 1 million subscribers.
how widespread YouTube is
Yeah.
becoming. Because I remember, I used to remember videos I liked would have like 20,000 views, and now it's like, like Donkey.
Yeah.
I can name 5 people on my phone I can't even name 5 people I know that watch Video Game Donkey, but his videos pull millions of views.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. It is insane. Just the absolute scope on YouTube.
It almost feels like a million, like 5 million is a new million, right?
Yeah. Because 1 million used to be the big milestone, and now
Yeah.
I'll find channels that I've never heard of before, and they'll have 1 million subscribers.
Like
who
random
is
random
finding
channels
this
with
person and who's watching this person.
random channels with 5 subscribers will have 500,000 views. It's like, what?
Yeah.
How?
Yeah, something weird like that. Yeah.
But it's just
Music.
the effect of YouTube and its everlasting growth on us. Let me ask you this: are you scared for its continued growth and its seemingly important position in our society?
I feel
Because
like
it is a subsidiary
might
of
come-
Google, who people don't
I-
necessarily trust.
In a weird way, I think the change that will happen in the future on YouTube will be the split between the people who are allowed to make their content and do it behind, YouTube Premium, and the people who don't do that. For example, Vsauce. Vsauce is a YouTuber who almost everyone that I know subscribes to and watches his videos. He's insanely popular and he does educational content, but he's almost entirely pivoted into YouTube original series.
Yeah.
And he only ever comes out with a non-YouTube original video once every 6 months or something like that. That's the only time he'll make a video that's not part of his original series. That's pretty much just what he has pivoted into. And you can't fault him for that, because it's like, if he wants to do that type of content, he is absolutely, allowed to. What's funny is that the same thing is happening again with battle rap, where it's like they're going back into, they went from you have to pay for it to we'll just upload it on YouTube for free to never mind, we're going to go back to you have to pay for it now. And it's all leaving YouTube and going to other apps where it's like paid streaming services, even stuff like Vimeo, So I feel like that's really going to be the separating factor, is who says my content is high quality, therefore I can charge you for it outside of Patreon, and then who says my content is high quality, but I'm just going to leave it on YouTube, more or less, I think the absolute absurdist version of this timeline would be if YouTubers could just take their videos and that would be on TV. Because videos
God,
are
we would
that
really
long.
be living in hell.
if you're watching, some of these videos are the average YouTube video, it feels like is almost 20 minutes now.
Yeah, yeah, they have been going up. That's for sure.
And so it's like you put that on TV and just throw commercials in it, just like how there's ads in these videos anyway. And that's just how you would watch it, Nothing, no real difference other than just, the people behind it. There's only one person. I mean, some of these YouTube videos have incredible quality and they're just made by one person.
Mm-hmm. Takes forever, but we get them.
Yeah, it takes forever. Takes for freaking ever.
Well, like Oversimplified. Oversimplified is probably the most famous example of that. He puts out, he puts out like 2 videos, 3 videos a year.
Yeah.
And it's like, damn. It's like, okay.
Or you get the opposite where it's somebody like, do you remember the YouTube channel Nerd Rider?
Yes.
Where Nerd Rider would do like an insanely high quality video every week until he just got insanely burnt out and now he only ever can do a video like a month. Because he would, like,
I do remember that.
Doing high quality content just week after week was just too much for one man to do. And so he's cooled off a bit. He'll do one every 2 or so months now, pretty much. But yeah, man, that stuff is now, where do you see YouTube? Because we talked about it in relation to Hollywood, but when you bring it as a big cultural force, where do you see it impacting people? For example, here's my example. There's a lot of film content on YouTube, film analysis, at least. Nerd Writer, for example. Every Frame of Painting, for example. Now You See It, for example. I Hate Everything, for example. What's his name? Your Movie Sucks, for example. All these kind of YouTube channels. When I went to ASU, within like the first, like when my freshman year at ASU, when I was in like intro to film classes, I heard people say, like, they presented ideas in class that I remembered were verbatim from YouTube videos on film. I was like, this person just straight up verbatim
got
paste their idea from this Every Frame of Painting video. I remember being like, I was like, first off, I can't really fault you for being interested enough in film to seek out, an analysis of it. But talk about, what happened to forming your own opinion?
Yeah,
man?
what happened to remember what our professors would always say? You can use the quote, but make sure you change the words and make it sound like your own language.
Yeah. Yeah, you can steal, but you can't copy.
Yeah.
You can steal, but you can't copy.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing because I think, well, first off, I think YouTube has introduced people to so many different kind of movies. I mean, Lord knows how many movies movie clips I've seen, and I'm like, oh, that looks like a kind of good movie that I'd want to watch, and then I'll go watch the movie, and I'm like, oh, yeah, dope. That was actually pretty good, or not pretty good. It also just feels like it gives people more access to watch older movies. Like, I don't. Am I gonna watch? How am I gonna find a copy of Lawrence of Arabia? Right. I don't think I can. No, but I can watch clips of Lawrence of Arabia to see if I could enjoy it.
If you would like it.
Yeah, right. Sure. So I feel like it definitely enhances the movie going experience, and it's why all these corporate media companies have their own YouTube channels and invest so much into their YouTube channels. It's because they understand the impact that YouTube has had on not only America but on the whole world, for better or worse.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of similar to Facebook. Facebook is very similar in the same way. So.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, and it's weird how Facebook has even kind of tried to evolve as a content platform as well.
Yeah.
Hasn't been as successful. Maybe because Facebook has a lot of other problems to deal with. But
doesn't help when if I have to watch a movie, I have to give away my 401k information. My social security number.
Yeah. Yeah, that's you. That's Facebook for you. LMAO. So, what about you? You asked me what I thought the future of YouTube would be. Where do you see YouTube?
I mean, I think we move towards a more polished YouTube. I think that is.
Yeah.
It seems to be the new thing where it's, you have to actually put time and effort into your videos, and you can't just upload random stuff. I feel like it's also becoming a little bit harder to break out because there's, 500, what did I say? It was like 500 hours of content per minute. I mean, we're struggling with that problem in this podcast. It's hard to break out when you're competing with billions of people around the world.
The thing that I try to think about, though, here's the thing with YouTube, is that there is a lot of content, so it's hard to get seen, and it's hard to get people to stick around. But the good thing about YouTube is that because there's so much, there's not only a lot of content, but there's more people watching YouTube than people who make YouTube videos at the end of the day. No matter how much gets uploaded per minute, more people are watching YouTube than is getting uploaded. So you're gonna get seen. I mean, geez, even our freaking Terminator video has almost 400
views at this point.
And it's like
almost 500.
Who are you people?
Why are you not subscribing and watching? Yeah, it's kind of like a weird thing to look at the graph as far as total views. It's like 10, 10, 11, 15, 20, 10, 8, 500. It's like, what?
It just kind of can't be like...
It's not quantifiable.
It's almost like even if it's just a bot, you kind of just have to let it happen,
Yeah.
Good things come to those who wait.
It is crazy. So you're gonna give me a real favorite 5 YouTubers, or are we gonna end
a real favorite 5 YouTubers?
I'm just kidding. We don't have to do that. We can end the episode.
We can end the episode. Hey, I'll throw in my Formula One. If you're not subscribed to Chain Bear, he does Formula One videos where he talks about the engineering and the sometimes he'll talk about like the rules. If you're not subscribed to him, Chain Bear, watch him.
Yeah, I've been watching a lot of Formula One because we're on the summer break. A lot of catching up on my history. So. Have you ever watched the
Schumacher documentary?
Yeah, I just saw that. I was pretty I'm excited as a new fan of 4 months ago to learn a little bit more about history. What is up with what's wrong with, is he sick or something? Reddit is always like, oh, I can't believe what happened to Schumacher and this and that. And I'm like, can somebody just comment what's up with Schumacher? Like, why can't nobody say he died or something?
So he's not dead, thankfully. He had a really bad, at least we are told that, accident. I believe he was skiing and he got in an accident. And whether it was bad or whether it was just kind of bad is up to the imagination, because the family basically said he's in the hospital.
They haven't said anything, right?
He doesn't want to see or talk to anyone. and he just has never made a public appearance since then.
How long ago
Which
was
has led a
this?
lot of people to. Oh, this was years ago.
Oh wow.
I don't even know when his last public appearance was. Yeah, seriously. So, I mean, just the fact that that he himself refuses to,
Say something.
yeah, to say something, to, you know, go out in public. Oh wow, it was in 2013. That was actually a long time ago. People just assume the worst, and that it's, not good.
Yeah.
And Formula One respects that. I mean, the fans, you're gonna have your paparazzi, your tabloids, or whatever, but most people are not idiots. People respect that. They don't care. In a weird way, it's been so long that people are defensive about it at this point. It's like, and you're seeing that with the documentary where people are like, no, we don't want to know anything about Schumacher. Don't show us any modern. Don't have an interview with him, anything like that. Yeah, they're like, at this point, we don't want to know what's going on.
I understand.
And
it's crazy.
So that's why you see people kind of acting, strange about the documentary. Yeah. So, just weird little. It will be on Netflix for anyone listening.
Yeah,
you'll be able to catch the Schumacher documentary on Netflix. That's our ad.
Formula One, pay us. We talk about you every week.
Oh my god!
Almost
We're
every
not
week.
A Formula One podcast.
This is our hit play number 2 channel. It's just Formula One.
Yeah, more like Hit Start.
Ooh, good one. Should we workshop this?
Oh,
let's workshop. Or let's end the stream and workshop this.
You want a Formula One podcast? Go listen to Shift F1. All right.
Yeah. Listen to people who actually follow the sport religiously and not casual viewers like us.
Fans.
Yeah. Anyways, any last words? Any recommendations or anything?
YouTube.
Have you watched anything cool?
On YouTube, you know what videos are absolutely amazing? Are the Sonic fan dubs. Have you seen those?
What?
They took the cutscenes from Sonic games. They took the cutscenes from the Sonic games, and then these voice actors recorded their own dialogue over it, but they didn't have a script. They just improvised the whole thing.
What?
And it is one of the best things on YouTube. They did Sonic 06, which is nobody who understands Sonic. Sonic 06 is probably the worst video game ever made. And they also did Sonic Riders. It's pretty good stuff.
That's funny.
Anyway, what about you? What's your recommendation to the people?
I haven't really watched anything. I watched The Green Knight. That was good.
Nice.
Not gonna give a full review right now. I watched Kevin Hart's movie on Netflix. The one where he's raising a daughter by himself.
How was that?
Actually not that bad. I was really, really surprised. I kind of rolled my eyes when I was like, really? A Kevin Hart feel-good drama? But it wasn't that bad. It really wasn't.
Nice.
It was pretty...
That's good.
For a Netflix, melodrama about raising your daughter by yourself. It's pretty... It was okay. It was good. I've seen worse.
Fatherhood?
Other than that... Yeah, thank you. Other than that, I don't think I've seen anything really. I've been watching a lot of Formula One videos, trying to catch up on my history. That's about it.
Nice.
Doing a lot of reading. Almost done with Dune. I'm 100 pages away from finishing Dune. So that's about it. That's about it. But yeah. Anyways, let's get out of here, man.
All right.
I'm
It's
Isaac.
late. It's probably
That's
almost midnight
James.
for you.
It is almost midnight for me. That's Isaac. I'm Isaac. That's James. This was Hit Play. Thank you guys for listening to us talk about YouTube. YouTube, if we said anything bad about you, please don't demonetize what little money / no money we make from this. Please don't ban us. We're just trying to live it up. Everybody else, we'll see you next week. Have a good night.